Howdy, Mike McCoy here, telling you my days as a cowboy, you know. Or I'd say it's more like my hours as a cowboy. Back in like 1972 or 3, it's probably 2, my future father-in-law bought Mary Ruth's brother a horse. And it was a pretty little old horse at a distance, but you get up close to that thing, you could tell it was crazy. I mean, it had the look. It had a glass eye, and it just looked crazy, and it was. Well, he'd kept the thing for about a week, and I don't believe Mary Ruth's brother had gotten near it during that whole time. For the horse was crazy. I mean, no sensible person would. But anyway, he borrowed a saddle off of some old boy, but future father-in-law. And one Sunday, we saddled that thing up, put a bridle on it, and gonna ride it. Well, guess who got nominated to ride it? Me. For I was head over heels in love and just smitten. I mean, I was really smitten with Mary Ruth. Anything I could do to impress her, I'd do it. Evidently, including getting killed. But we get this horse over in the front yard, and there's a bunch of people there. I guess there's 10 or 15 people there. You know how people just congregate on Sunday. And I get on this horse, and I'm no horse person. That's probably the first time I'd rode a horse in years. I never have liked horses, and never did have nothing to do with them, simply because I didn't like them. And I get on that thing, and they'd put a pole in under the clothesline to raise it up so I could go in under it. So I go in under that clothesline, and I could tell that horse, he didn't like going under that clothesline. It spooked him. And I went down and under it, and went down the lower end of the yard and turned him around, and I come back up through there. Well, this time when he went under him, is 2 clotheslines, about 3 foot apart. When I brushed the second one with my head, them clothespins rattled just a little bit, and he bucked just a little. And I was thinking, I better not do this no more. So I turned him around, and I thought, when I get him back down that clothesline, I'll go up in the field and ride him for a while. You could just tell the horse was tense. All them people there, and I ain't even for sure the thing was real good and broke. Well, I know it wasn't real good and broke, but anyway. So we go back down through there, and the first, evidently that same line of clothespins was a little bit lower than nothing, and it brushed my head again. And when it did, that horse bucked. And when it bucked, the second clothesline caught me right under the nose, right there. And that horse took off. And I done the only thing that I know to do. I screamed at the top of my lungs, stop. Evidently, in horse language, screaming stop means go just as fast as you can and run over anything that's in front of you. For that's exactly what that horse done. I had no idea a horse could move that fast. Well, down through the yard we went, and I mean, if somebody had been taking a film of it, it'd probably been worth a fortune, for I was probably flopping like a fish on the back of it. And down at the lower end of the yard, there was a hog pen and some old lumber, this junk that my father-in-law had put down there as a thing to hang a hog on when you kill it, just all kinds of stuff. And a weeping willow tree, and it was going straight toward that weeping willow tree. And I'm thinking that horse is going to run over that tree and kill it, and I'm going to have to buy it. That was a thought that was going through my mind. Well, it gets within, I mean, just a few feet of that weeping willow tree. I was done bracing for it to hit it, and it just sidestepped, just like that, just whoop. And when it did, I went to the other side, you know. And that tree hit me from right below my chin there to my knees. It just wrapped me around that tree. knocked the breath out of me, pretty much knocked me out, but I didn't stay out long. Well, here come Mary Ruth and her sisters and all of them, and the horse just stopped. As soon as it about killed me, it stopped. I think he was looking around at me, laughing. I don't know. They get me up, and I figure out I ain't plumb dead. And her older sister looked at me and smiled and said, I always heard when you get thrown off from a horse, you have to get back up on it. And I'd have got on that damn thing or died then, you know. So I got back up on it, and I took it up in the field, and I rode it for probably an hour, maybe two. And the only reason I rode it that long is I wasn't really sure I could get back off of it. The next day, I wasn't blue, I was purple from the tops of my knees to the under my chin. That had kept from killing me, I don't know. And I think the only impression I made on Mary Ruth that day is I was an idiot. I shouldn't have been on the horse. Nobody else would have rode that damn thing. It was crazy. The horse was crazy. But I did. And here I was thinking I was going to really impress her, and I don't think I did. I may have made her laugh a little bit. I'm sure it was funny when they figured out I wasn't plumb killed. If I'd hit my head, it would have killed me. For I don't know how fast a horse can go, but ever how fast one can go is how fast we was going when it hit me. And that just sealed it for my wife's brother. I don't think he ever got near the thing. My daddy-in-law sold it just within a few weeks after that. I mean, why keep something that's crazy? And I think he put some gears on it and worked it a little bit beside that mule of his, but I was the only one that rode it. I guess I was the only one that's stupid enough to ride it. But I ain't never really got along good with big animals like that. I'll get on a bulldozer and put it where the next one will, or I'll get on that motorcycle and I'll ride all day long. But horses and stuff never did impress me, and I was always kind of scared of them. They say they can sense that. And evidently that one must have known something, for it tried its best to kill me. And I always thought, you know, when a horse run away like that, it'd just keep it going. But it didn't take 10 steps, and it just stopped and turned around and looked at me like, what are you doing? Now that was my time as a cowboy.